Radio Next.tv. Ladies, we're getting ready to go live here on the Zoom side. I'm telling you, technology is amazing. Last Saturday, you here on the Jumbo Love Show. The Zoom platform was just a little bit different. And they were asking me to sign in today, ladies, and you would not believe the whole new platform when you sign in on Zoom. Did you experience that today?
I'm always signed in.
Oh, well, I guess as the editor of this conversation, then, but signing in now, when you host a Zoom meeting, be prepared because the platform has changed up this week. And we're just happy to have Assemblix Staffing inside the RadioNext.tv platform. I have DeAndra and I have Brandy. Hello, ladies.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is a beautiful thing. Brandy, I just want to start with you. Long time no see, my friend. And you are always out here making and taking advantage of giving people opportunities in the world of employment and enhancing their skill set. I had the pleasure of meeting Brandy with Newbie Kenning's computer training program that was offering CompTIA security programs with the state of Indiana with the next level job grants and keep moving and developing and making it happen. So how have you been, my friend?
Great. Ready to help on the other side of things. Help people get to work.
And DeAndra?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
First
and
time
yourself?
meeting this sister here on the radio net. I'm going to get right into it. Assemblix Staffing is an organization where you can actually apply today, start tomorrow. We know people after the pandemic has been in a serious transition of what type of jobs are really good for me, what type of opportunities are good for me. And so, Brandy, I would like to start with you. If you could give a brief description of Assemblix Staffing and just tell the people what we're offering.
So Assemblix Staffing is basically going to be jobs in the assembly, manufacturing, and warehouse sector. So these jobs are going to be located in the Plainfield area in the warehouse district there.
And if people don't know Plainfield, that is the west side, southwest side of the Indianapolis area. And that means that, you know, that is where we're going to have all these jobs taking place. Give me an example when you say warehousing, manufacturing. Give me an example of what warehousing and manufacturing is, Brandy, so these people will understand.
So we have forklift jobs, which you do have to have a forklift certification. Most of the time, these employers are going to help you get those certifications. There's also going to be production lines, shipping, receiving, as well as assembly, where you will be a part of a line. One of our jobs is in recycling, where they are actually removing parts of different appliances. And it sounds like a very fun job. They remove parts from different appliances so that they can be recycled. So you'll be a part of assembly line. So your job might be to remove the cord. So you'll be removing cords from these appliances all day. Some you might be in charge of smashing the screen on TVs and computer monitors and printers, which that sounds like a really fun job if you have any aggression you'd like to get out. Right? And DeAndra has more information on that she's going to share because there's a very interesting situation with that job coming up. As well as we have like I said, the shipping, receiving. We have some tech positions that are available for people that are tech savvy. So DeAndra's going to talk a lot about these different positions that we have open.
Now, I would like the people to get an idea of Assemblix as a organization and a company. I went on the website, as I told you, Brandy, and was able to just see all the different opportunities. And we do have geographical opportunities for the people who are watching because Cool Groove Radio and this Facebook page feeds all across the world pretty much. And especially in our great country. What other cities is Assemblix participating in job hiring?
I know that we do have a facility in Florida, an agency in Florida. I believe we have one in North Carolina.
We have Indianapolis, Louisiana, and North Carolina, yes.
Now, Deanna, Brandy was mentioning that you guys had some opportunities, and then you could go in and start describing and defining some of the areas of the jobs that you have, skill sets, as Brandy mentioned. If you had aggression in you, you might want to do the TV screen match. I mean, really, we need to cooperate with where people are today, because we do know, at least I know, over the last 12 months, we have had to make some drastic changes in just normal, everyday things in our life, and particularly how we working from home. Now, look at what we're doing now. Brandy used to come to my studio. Now my studio's coming to you guys. So if you could explain some of the particulars about the opportunities that are available.
Sure. A lot of our starting positions, which can do that next day start, is with ERI, and you can either be a dismantler or a CRT dismantler. And basically what they do is they take in electronics that are no longer usable. So if you return something that's broken to Amazon, Amazon then sends it to ERI, and then you, the associate, gets to break it, basically in a nutshell. You remove the batteries, the cords, anything that's combustible when it comes down to that breakdown process. So we joke when we're describing the job to our associates or our future candidates, you know, you get to come here and break stuff all day long. So if you have aggression, or if you just like breaking stuff or throwing stuff, it's very laid back atmosphere, which is great. You don't have somebody breathing down your neck.
Now, some of your partners, are you allowed to mention some of the company names that you guys are working with?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, let's give them some love then.
My favorite company that we have is ERI, that's electronic recycling. They focus on e-waste recycling. They are in the Plainfield area. They just got a huge partnership with Redwood. And if anybody doesn't know what that is, those were the original creators of the Tesla batteries.
Wow.
Yes,
That
yes.
is interesting.
Yes,
Because
big
Tesla's
partnership
making
coming.
noise in the business right now.
Yes, everyone's about to go to these solar powered cars, and you know, to get away from the gas powered cars. And ERI is going to be that person that helps create those batteries, or to recycle the batteries that are no longer in use.
So when we start talking about recycle, we're talking about the big back TVs. We're talking about the old cell phones. As you mentioned, we're talking about those first models of your big screen TVs. All of these things are now have parts, and valuable parts, that the companies, where they're making new, I guess, technology advances. They are using a lot of these parts. A lot of these parts are precious minerals inside, if people don't know. A lot of copper and gold inside. So it is big business. I remember when Recycle Force was coming on stage and they were hiring a lot of ex-felons. They were, you know, doing pretty much the same thing. Now, speaking of that, as
Yes. I love that you
getting
said
hired.
ex-felons. A lot of times, you know, if you have someone on your background, it can be a struggle to find work. But in ERI knows that. So they are a background friendly workforce. The only thing that can stop you on your background, and I'll be completely honest with everybody up front, is a theft charge. And that's because they are a warehouse full of electronics and very easily stealable goods. But everything else is pretty background friendly, and we can most likely get anything approved other than that theft charge. So if you're struggling finding work anywhere else, come see us. We can get you at ERI.
That's a great thing to know, because working in youth development programs, I know a lot of young guys who had been in some trouble, maybe not theft, but drug dealing, whatever it might be. They're coming back into the workplace now, and we need to give them second chances. And I really appreciate that. So anybody with a small misdemeanor, any kind of felony that wasn't theft, they apply and they can get a job and start tomorrow, is what I'm understanding. Now, Brandy, I mentioned drug dealing. What about drug testing?
There will be drug testing involved, because for the safety of the candidates, we need to make sure that they are not under the influence when they do these jobs. That is mainly for their safety. When you're in a warehouse environment with forklifts whisking past you, we want to make sure that you are on your toes at all times. And that's why drug testing is very important. And all of our clients are going to want their employees to be drug tested.
Absolutely. So that means when you come and apply today, be ready to have some clean pee.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna start tomorrow.
Perfect.
And if you can't pass today, come back in a couple of days when you can, and we'll give you a new one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm being honest, the pandemic has created so much stress on people. I know my alcohol consumption went up a little bit in the pandemic. I know my eating habits changed during the pandemic. So it's probably some people who are self-medicating as well with illegal drugs. And to know this is very important. What type of pay are we talking about when we start talking about Assemblix and some of the jobs that you have available? Either one of you.
Okay, so we have a range. We can go from $12.50 to $20 an hour. Some of them specialty positions that Brandy kind of hit on, they're in the upwards of $20 an hour. Now those aren't start tomorrow jobs though, but our start tomorrow jobs, $12.50 to $15.75. And the big thing with ERI right now, they know that it's a struggle everywhere to get help right now. Everyone is hiring. So ERI has established what they call a surge pay. So all for the month of May and June, it's an extra $2 on top of their normal pay.
Wow.
Yes, they need the help.
Incredible.
They want people to come work.
Yeah. And talking about the marketplace, Brandy, I want to throw this one off at you. We know that we have opportunities now for people since the pandemic and all the funding that the government has been giving out, and unemployment seems to be a better opportunity, but they don't understand that's a short-term deal. Talk about and tell people, and I guess I want to ask the question, does this affect your unemployment status?
So these are full-time jobs. We don't offer any part-time jobs. So if you are getting unemployment, or it will cancel out your unemployment. If you're coming off unemployment, these are good jobs for you to come. You are going to have an issue if you have lived on unemployment during 2020 and the beginning of 2021. Employers are going to be looking at your resumes and wonder why that gap is there. Even if you were laid off due to COVID, these new employers are going to wonder what you were doing during COVID.
And they're probably going to want to see if you were actively pursuing employment while you had all the protocols that take place when you're unemployed. They're going to be checking that as well, I'm sure.
And it is going to make employment a little more difficult to get after coming off unemployment. We are not going to judge you here. We are a second chance employer. If no matter what your circumstances are, we are willing to give you a second chance and get you back into the workforce.
Now, speaking of the workforce, and we start talking about those high-tier jobs and certification jobs like forklift driving, and there are other certification jobs that I know in the warehouse that you have to someone get a certification, or do you help them get certifications for those types of positions?
We currently do not offer certifications, but if you have the experience and you can pass the observations, some of the clients will allow you to place you and have that test and have the observation, and then they will certify you at the plant. We also do have some connections with Work One, and they are going to start soon a forklift certification program. As long as we say that we are offering you a job after the certification is complete, they will certify you for free.
The marketplace is tough right now, as you mentioned. Staffing industries. I was looking up staffing is getting prepared for today's show, and I was looking and it says all the 500 top corporate people are using staffing agencies. I believe it was 90% of the top 500 companies around the world are using staffing agencies. Assemblix, what sets them apart?
We take the stress out of hiring for our clients. We also take the stress of workman's comp injuries, unemployment. We place the associate there for you, and then if they get hurt on the job or if they get fired and claim that unemployment, we take that risk, not our clients, which is why I think a lot of these corporate America jobs are going to staffing agencies. We put in the footwork to find them associates, and then we take the risk once those associates are placed. But all of our clients are temp to hire. So you start with us, but we grow you into becoming that direct hire for that company.
Now, Brandy, when we start talking about the unemployment market, demographically, I guess when we start talking about male, female, age, what are we looking at? Who is the marketplace that is most in need of being able to take advantage of what Assemblix has to offer?
It would be, I mean, really, honestly, right now, both men and women were affected equally by the circumstances surrounding COVID. So that has affected both male and female. I think that though the market has affected the African American community far worse than it has affected other communities. So I think we are looking at a lot of wage discrepancies that are going to affect the African American community when they try to get back to work after the unemployment is gone. I think that there is going to be some advantage taken by corporations. They're going to know that they are struggling and they're going to take advantage of it. So we are not going to take advantage of our African American community. We are here to give them the chance to get back into the workforce. And I think that is one of the difference. We offer medical benefits, vision, dental, term life, as well as disability benefits. And I think that, that is one of the things that sets us apart is we have those medical in dental and vision and all those benefits that are very.
Here's what I'm loving, because you're making it so attractive for people who have been unemployed, and the I guess the big elephant in the room in my community, the African American community, is the fact that people now are making more unemployed than they were making while they were
Yes.
working, but they don't understand the trap door that awaits
Yes.
them, because once this runs out, I mean, I can remember how quick last year has gone by. We have 4 months, 3 months, or 6 months, whatever they're giving this extra dollar to. You have a lifetime to live. And the benefits that I see that Assemblix is offering, from the health benefits and that $2 cushion on the hour, all of these things are making major differences into making people say, hey, let me jump on this early instead of waiting till I get to the end of this road and then try to get started. Because what people don't understand, I don't think, is that when you have to reset, it takes you about 3 months to get everything back in order after you start your new job, getting your budget back together. Some of the things that are just normal every day, you have to kind of reset. So don't wait until the end, until your benefits run out. Get on this now.
And this is going to be a case of where it's going to be sudden. It's going to be the bubble burst. You're ready to go back to the workforce because there is no longer those cushions of protection from eviction and protection from termination of services, and food banks open for you to get, groceries for your household, as well as there's no assistant to pay your rent or your mortgage or your car payment. And you have not worked now for a year. This is all going to happen all of a sudden. You're going to be pushed back into the workforce, and there is going to be so many corporations taking advantage of this, which means there is a possibility that what you would typically find right now, wage-wise, is going to be so dramatically lower because they're going to be overwhelmed with the workforce.
Because the demand won't be nearly as high.
Right.
As far as what we have to do to get workers, now the workers are going to be seeking out employers, and employers going to say, supply and demand is a cruel thing. It's a reality, but it's a cruel thing. So getting in now would benefit you if you're out there listening. And for the people listening on Cool Groove who are tuning in on this Friday, this is going to happen every other Friday. And we're going to have Assemblix in and have different partners of Assemblix in, so we can share the jobs that are available, and you can get it firsthand information on how to come out and get hired. If you're out there now and you have a loved one, especially our young people who think this is gravy, they think this is easy. Life moves on, and it moves fast, and we have to bring this awareness out here to the public. Now, Deanna, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
When we start talking about employees, and I'm listening to some of the corporations you're working with, and somebody might be out there listening that is a corporation. What type of corporations is Assemblix looking to partner with as far as using your excellent service of hiring versus them having to use their HR department? Who else are you looking for in terms of partnerships?
Now, currently we are strictly warehouse driven, but if you run a safe environment and you care about your employees that are on your warehouse floors and you need help with staffing, we're here for you. As long as we know that the associates we place there are going to be taken care of while they're there, we will build a partnership with you, and we will work around your needs to build our contract to basically fit you.
Now let's talk about work schedules. Everybody has something different going on. We have a lot of virtual learning where parents are now having to split up the times that they work throughout the day because their children have to be instructed and taught. Brandy, what type of hours are available? Do we have all three shifts, mainly day, mainly evening? What do we have?
We have more amazing than that. We have schedules that are 3-day schedules. So 3 days a week you work, but you work full time. So you're working 36 hours within those 3 days. So you take home a whole paycheck, but you got 4 days off work between,
Like a fireman.
Yeah.
And plenty of overtime available if you want the extra money. You can work them 3 days and then pick up 2 more days on a different shift and bring home a nice paycheck at the end of the week.
This is beautiful. I mean, because I'm learning as I'm talking, but this is so honorable because we have to get flexibility inside. And then, as you mentioned, there's some, I know if I could work 12 hours a day, 3 days a week and get 4 off, that leaves me open to do a whole bunch of the other things that I know how to do to go make me some extra money or get some continued education, get that forklift certification that you guys might be I mean, that leaves you time to really manage your life a lot better. And I think this is so attractive for people who might be out here looking for work. Assemblix Staffing is who we're talking to today. Let's give the number out, and email address, location, and all that before we get off the air in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and also I just want to say we do have every shift you can imagine. If you want to work nights 5 days a week, we have it. You want to work days 5 days a week, we have it. You want to work 3 days, 12 hours a day, we have it. So our phone number is going to be 317-203-5631. And we are located at 855 North High School Road, Suite 1 in Indianapolis. Feel free to give us a
and let me
call.
clarify that is right off of High School. I mean, right off of I-465 and 10th Street, just a little bit, a block west of 10th Street. And you're right there. Take a left and you're right there. Easily accessible.
And we take walk-ins. Feel free to call us anytime. We take walk-ins. We will interview you the same day you come in and hopefully get you started tomorrow, depending on what kind of position you want to take.
Now, you're mostly West Side workers, right? So we're talking about your Plainfield warehousing. I would imagine some Brownsburg, Avon. Who else am I missing?
We have a couple clients in Park 100 area. Their orders aren't as big as ERI and Foxconn and Plainfield, but when we get those orders, we do have positions in Park 100.
Absolutely. And so we are talking to Assemblix, and I'm saying this over and over for my radio audience because they're used to tune in on Saturday and get some of this cool groove that I play on Friday afternoon. But we're talking to Deanna and we're talking to Brandy with Assemblix Staffing, and we are offering opportunities. Apply today, get hired tomorrow. Bullet points are $12.75 to $20 an hour. The $20 an hour high-end jobs require some certification. Talking $12.75 to like $15 an hour without certifications. We have flexible shifts, all time of day, every day of the week. And it's up to you if you want to get in on this. The first thing somebody needs to know when they come see you, we know number one, you better be clean. Don't have drugs in your system. Do we need license, social security cards? What other things do we need when we come so we can make sure we're not delaying the process of applying today and starting tomorrow?
Two forms of identification for the I-9 and E-Verify process. And then the background, we're flexible depending on the client. ERI is very flexible other than the theft charges. So we can place almost anyone.
Yeah, and then, you know, what's amazing, and I'm hearing is, wow, you can be a felon and have committed all kind of crimes, and as long as it wasn't theft, you get another chance out here.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. So that's been important because I have been talking to a few friends of mine who have some young children. I call them children because I'm 62 years old, but they're like 21, 22, 23 years old who have had some mishaps in that teen to, you know, adult life. And a lot of it might be misdemeanor. A lot of it might be domestic issues or whatever. And it sounds like if you had some domestic issues, you might want to come smash up some of these TVs and get some therapy at the same time you get a check, huh?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be doing this every other Friday afternoon, 2:00 p.m. And we're going to be bringing some of the great proprietors who are helping to make Assemblix Staffing a great opportunity for the people in our community. And today, ladies, you see how fast this goes, Brandy?
Yeah, absolutely. I
This is
want to
beautiful.
mention really quickly that most of our jobs are on the bus line. So if transportation's the issue, let us know and we can find you a job that is on the bus line.
Major point, because that is a issue for a lot of the people who have been working at some of the FedEx plants, the Whitestown plants with Amazon or whatever. That's been a major issue. But now that we know that we have a bus line that can get you there if you don't have your own transportation, or if you've had a DUI or whatever, you can get back to work. No excuses is what I'm hearing.
No excuses, not over here.
Ladies, this is powerful. And thank you for allowing RadioNext.tv to bring this great information. Thank you to the Facebook and the Zoom audience who are peeping it out. And the beautiful thing about this is it travels and it carries. What I'm going to do is take the audio side out and play this back throughout my rotation. Tuesday and Thursday, what I'll do is put this back in and let the people know if they want to find out more about Assemblix, they can come in and listen to RadioNext.tv. But we're going to be live on Zoom and on Cool Groove every other Friday at 2 p.m. Assemblix Staffing. Welcome to the tape.
Thank you for
Love
having
you guys.
us.
Thank you again, Brandy. Love you, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you. Love you, HB.
Absolutely. Cool Groove Radio. We're getting ready to get back to the music.